Jamestown was founded on May 14, 1607 by John Smith and the Virginia Company. This was the first permanent settlement in North America. The settlers had to overcome many hardships such as the natives, diseases, and unsanitary conditions. In the end, they beat the odds and started our country's history.
So bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy.
I'm the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. I'm so glad that the 13th Amendment in the Constitution was ratified. I wish I had just been alive for it. Oh well.
The 13th Amendment stated that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject of their jurisdiction. It is the document that formally abolished slavery in its entirety in the United States. It was passed by the House of Representatives on January 31st in 1865, and was later ratified on December 6th of that same year. The abolition of slavery will kill the Southern economy.
No.
The outbreak of the Civil War occurred in the mid-19th century and was a battle concerning whether slavery was to be legal in the United States or not. At the time, Abraham Lincoln was in office as the 16th President of the United States and was struggling to keep the nation united. As a result of the war, abolitionists finally got their way. On the 1st of January, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation freed all slaves who were in enemy territory. The proclamation was issued by Abraham Lincoln to put an end to the 4-year-long Civil War.
Sorry, guys.
The Treaty of Versailles is what officially ended World War I. It was signed on June 28, 1919 in the Palace of Versailles, France. The treaty was negotiated among the Allied powers of the war, who were France, Britain, Russia, and the United States. All of those countries but the United States made up the Triple Entente. The entire treaty consisted of 15 parts and 440 articles. Germany did not have much of a say in what occurred in its articles. Much of the agreement was to hold Germany accountable for their war actions. It was reassigned to their border countries and forced them to repair what they had destroyed in attacks.
The Louisiana Purchase was a deal between France and America. Thomas Jefferson agreed to give Napoleon $15 million for 828,000 square miles of land. This almost doubled the size of the United States and gave us more room to grow.
Give me all your money. About that. We don't really have any at the moment, so you're gonna have to, there's stock market crash, so you gotta skedaddle. Oh.
The Great Depression started after the stock market crashed in October 1929. It was the worst economic downfall in U.S. history. Millions lost their jobs, homes, savings, and more. It ended in 1939 when World War II started.
Super excited I can finally vote. I just voted for Warren G. Harding.
The 19th Amendment was the section of the Constitution of women's suffrage. Women's suffrage is the ability of women to vote. The amendment was ratified on August 18th in 1920. For a long period of time in America, women were not allowed to vote or to even own property. Instead of taking an authoritative role, they were expected to stay home and be the caretaker and nourisher of the family. Housework and motherhood was to be their main focus during that time. As time went on, The following of women's rights movements got larger and larger. Due to all of the clubs, small organizations, conventions, and protests, women eventually got the right to vote.
I'm about to drop a bomb on you.
No!
Bet.
The bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki took place on August 6, 1945 and August 9, 1945. President Harry Truman gave the order during the final days of World War II. The 2 atomic bombs wiped out the 2 cities and everyone in them. This showed Japan who the real boss was.
I'm gonna beat you!
No!
The space race was a competition between the United States and the Soviet Union to see which of the 2 nations could accomplish more in the exploration of space. It occurred soon after the end of World War II, during the Cold War, a time of conflict amidst the US and the USSR. During the course of the race, there were 2 presidents, Dwight Eisenhower and John F. Kennedy. JFK thought it would be best for the nations to put its focus on getting to the moon before the Russians. NASA was created in 1958 to lead any activity in space that was not related to the military. This group is the one who later thanked to the United States was close behind most of the time, but in 1969 the United States trumped the Soviets once and for all when the Apollo 1 landed on the moon. This was the first spacecraft to bring man to the moon. The famous team of astronauts consisted of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins.